We'll open up tonight's Committee of the Whole for the Auburn City Council meeting for April the 16th, 2024. The City Council should have the minutes from the Committee of the Whole from April the 2nd. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, is there a move to approve?
So moved.
Second. A motion is second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the minutes for the Committee of the Whole on April the 2nd are approved. Board of Education, Mayor Pro Tem Whitten.
Yes, sir, we have one vacancy. Term begins June 1, 2024 and ends May 31, 2029. I would like to ask the council, normally we hold interviews for this, but in the past, when we've had an incumbent that has served a term and that we are considering a second term, we have suspended the rules to not hold interviews. So I'd like to ask the council to suspend the rules to not hold interviews so that we can move forward with an appointment this evening.
Ms. Crouch, do we need a motion and a second for that?
Let's go ahead and do that, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I move for approval that we suspend the rules.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion and second? Okay, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And we have suspended the rules. Ms. Whitten?
Okay, so we do have one vacancy. Term begins June 1, 2024, ends May 31, 2029. Incumbent Kathy Powell has served one full term. I would like to nominate Kathy Powell for a second full term.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion or comments from the council? I'll make a few comments. Ms. Powell's done an excellent job in her first term. She has been invested, has attended a large majority of the meetings, if not all of them, most of them. She's an excellent ambassador for our Board of Education and our children, and I would think in the very, very near future, she'll be a prime candidate to be the chair of that Board of Education. And I believe it's the right decision for our community to reappoint Ms. Powell to the Board of Education for her second full term. Any other comments? All right, we have a motion and a second to approve Kathy Powell for a second full term. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries forth. Questions on tonight's agenda for the city manager? Any questions related to the agenda?
I have a comment, if not a question. I would like to ask for time on the next Committee of the Whole, if I may, to discuss placing a sidewalk on East University between Old Mill and McKinley Avenue. And I understand that the city staff has already been working on this, and I appreciate their efforts. Do you think we could get a briefing on what we've learned so far and what impact there is on the property owners from between those two roads?
And we have a little bit of a gap till the next meeting because it's May 7th, so that helps. The goal would be, we've done some preliminary pricing, but we need to get out on the field based on the meeting you and I had and kind of check on for all the residents that would be impacted by this, what might have to move, be torn down, dug out, retaining walled, whatever, and give you a better idea parcel by parcel of what's going on out there. And then we're also going to do a little more research on the trees at Old Mill and East University Drive that have caught several cars in the one recently and in the past several years as people are going way too fast and have gotten airborne, and take a little bit of a look at that. We can't change the curvature of the road, and we certainly can't regulate when people choose to ignore all the signs that we have and the speed limit by a long shot and drive way too fast. However, there are concerns of an adjacent resident about possible loss of those trees with the sidewalk, and they do sit further back, but we're still going to look at options there to see if anything else can be done to help that situation as well. So we'll try to have something to you by that meeting about what might be in the way.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right, anyone else have a question on tonight's
Mary,
agenda?
you guys have to agree.
Okay, sure. Is everybody good with the staff providing a report on this sidewalk, potential sidewalk on the Old Mill and East University Drive?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Connie?
Okay. I just want, Megan, and I appreciate you reaching out to me and letting me know about that concrete wall, I guess, that got hit over on Martin Luther King. So if you would just give everybody a little briefing on what actually happened over there on Martin Luther King as far as somebody hitting the concrete, and how the city is going to address that going forward.
Yeah, I don't have the specifics from what happened. We do have a concrete, we call them Jersey barriers that are now at the ends of our brand new medians on Martin Luther King Drive. For whatever reason, we've long had a center lane, but people seem to be very distracted and keep running into our brand new medians that are very well lit. And so somebody decided, I don't know, for whatever reason, they were going to run into a concrete barrier that is a tall cement barrier that was in front of one of them, and they cracked the barrier pretty handily, and probably did a significant amount of damage to their vehicle. And so we are looking, the city engineer has told me, at some reflective items where there may be some sort of paint at the noses of those islands that shows it even more so, but that is about as well lit as we could possibly make something. So distracted driving is likely the culprit and or impaired driving. City Engineer Fraser, do you have anything to add? The barriers were actually put out by the contractor, who is still responsible for any damage until it is turned over to us. So on their end, a little bit of frustration as we've had some people run through them. So we're working on some solutions, and it's top of mind. Same goes for some of you who have also mentioned an island on East University Drive in the vicinity of Saugahatchee Road. Same ideas there. That one's not as well lit, but we are looking at some potential solutions there for the long term. But what I can advise is people need to focus on the road and not their phones. That'd be really great.
Yeah. Now, you know, you're talking about reflective, some type of reflective device to go there. It's so lit up there. Do you think that's gonna actually, is it gonna actually work?
It's a great question. I think the attempt is to do anything to signal to people in case the lights are out or whatever, that they can see it. But we can't regulate people's behavior as much as we try to put laws in place to keep them safe. Distracted driving is our number one culprit. And we have medians on Opelika Road, and they've navigated those pretty well. So I'm not quite sure what's happening here, but we are going to make every attempt to make it as obvious as possible. There are medians. So some of these are not at the end that have been hit. They've been in the middle of a bunch of medians. So go figure.
Okay. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Just to clarify, all the mics are live tonight, right? We don't have to push buttons and stuff?
Yeah, the mics are live. They were live at the last meeting also, yes.
Fine, thanks.
Absolutely. You push a button, we call it the cough button. So if you want to be muted, yes, then.
Thank you.
Anyone else? All right, is there a move to adjourn the committee of the whole?
So moved.
All right, we'll adjourn the committee of the whole, and it is after 6 o'clock, so we'll roll right into tonight's Auburn City Council meeting for April the 16th, 2024. We certainly welcome all of you that are with us here tonight. We welcome those that are listening in WANI and that are watching through our streaming services on YouTube. And we'll go start ahead with the roll call. Lindsay?
Adams,
Here.
Oblentz,
Here.
Dawson,
Here.
Griswold,
Here.
Mormon,
Here.
Parsons,
Here.
Taylor,
Here.
Witten,
Here.
Anders.
Here. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. We just concluded the committee of the whole, and during the committee of the whole, the city council made a motion to suspend the rules for our Board of Education procedures, and the city council agreed to do that, and then Kathy Powell was reappointed to a second full term. We did have some other applicants, and we certainly appreciate those other applicants and their willingness to want to, and their desire to serve our community on the Board of Education, but Kathy Powell has been reappointed for her second full term. There was also a request tonight for a report that will provide impact and some other information related to a potential sidewalk that would be built from the intersection of East University and Old Mill up to McKinley. And then we also had a discussion about a recent accident involving a barrier and a new median on Highway 14 and Martin Luther King Drive. As far as announcements tonight, it is the springtime. I ask all of you to please be patient. A lot goes on in Auburn from spring break to graduation, and a lot has happened. And I think all of these are worth mentioning and recognizing the great efforts of people in our community. I see Anna here tonight. I want to tell her thank you for an outstanding Tiger Trail ceremony recently that the Chamber of Commerce fosters and nurtured. 4 new individuals were inducted into the Tiger Trail. They were all so appreciative and so thankful for their time here at Auburn, and they look forward to having their plaques installed in the downtown sidewalks here in the future. I want to thank Governor Kay Ivey and Agricultural Commissioner Rick Pate for being here yesterday celebrating the opening of a new building on campus, the pesticide lab and state chemical lab that is certainly built in partnership with Auburn University. We appreciate the governor and the commissioner spending the morning in Auburn yesterday. I want to thank Holly Cost from Auburn University Outreach for inviting me to be a part of a panel with President of the Opelika City Council, Eddie Smith, and a member of the Lafayette City Council, Ms. Tammy Williams, yesterday as we spoke to individuals from all across the South who are studying local government and its impact on communities. Also want to say thank you to Alpha for inviting me to the Women's Leadership Conference last week at the Auburn University Hotel and Conference Center. These were spouses of people that are in the farming industry in our state, and certainly we appreciate our farmers and thank all of them for what they do, but grateful to be a part of that evening. And I want to say thank you to all the folks who work at Mercy Medical. What a wonderful nonprofit we have in our community. They had their annual breakfast last week and storytelling, and it's awesome for the work that is going on within that ministry, and I appreciate everything that they do. Coming up here in the near future, in fact, tomorrow I'll be out at Lee County Youth Development as they recognize Child Abuse Awareness Month, and appreciate Laura and all of her outstanding staff out there who are trying to rehab and work with our children that have faced tough times in our area, and I appreciate that and look forward to sharing some time with them tomorrow. I look forward to City Fest next Saturday and thank our staff here at the City of Auburn. I know Parks and Rec pulls a heavy weight on this, but there's a lot of people involved because there's a lot of cars involved, there's a lot of trash involved, there's just a lot of logistics involved. It's a huge undertaking, and I appreciate everybody's willingness to pitch in and provide a great time for our families and our community and those that live outside of our community, and I hope and pray for great weather. The Crab Reserve will be having an open house and a celebration for their new environmental education building actually this Thursday, and what a nice jewel that is in our community, and they provide so much in the way of education and opportunity for our children, especially in our community, and I'm proud of the work that they continue to do. Cops on Top is Friday at Kroger here, and it is a fundraiser for our Lee County Special Olympics, and our good-natured police officers will be on top of the building asking you to donate the extra change and bills that you have in your wallet to support the people who will be participating in Special Olympics coming up this summer. And I encourage you, if you need something from the grocery store, to wait till Friday morning to go by Kroger and pick that up and make a contribution to the Cops on Top program. The Boys and Girls Club is having their annual gala next week, and it's their major fundraiser that supports all the efforts of that outstanding organization that works with our young people each and every day after school to help them with a number of things that will provide them a better future. And I appreciate all the hard work of their volunteers and their staff. The National Day of Prayer is May the 2nd, and I'll be joining Mayor Gary Fuller at Courthouse Square for that ceremony during lunch, and that is certainly open to the public. And the President's Day ceremony will be occurring over at the Nichols Center next week as the ROTC units from Auburn University will be recognizing President Roberts and thanking him for all that he has done to support their efforts. And recently, we recognized our team, our 911 team, with a PSAP of the year. And Ms. Crouch, I was going to ask someone to please explain that to the community and to the dais exactly what that is. And we're certainly proud of any recognition that they receive, and I know they work hard.
The Executive Director of Public Safety Services, Will Matthews, would be happy to explain.
Certainly, and we are very proud of all of our staff that works inside the Emergency Communications Center. PSAP is a public safety answering point, and so those are the centers around the state that take 911 calls for their communities. The award was given by the Alabama 911 Board, along with InDigital, who is our statewide provider, for excellent service in that area.
Good. Thank you. Well, we're certainly thankful for what they do and how they handle those unusual situations that they deal with. Thank you. Anyone else on the council have an announcement tonight? Anyone? Yes, sir, Mr. Moore.
Thank you. I'm really enjoying the new paved roads. I'd like to offer a word to the wives. The humps are back on Old Mill Road as you're coming down from the Dean Road direction. You might be surprised if you're not familiar with those. Also, I was at the library today and I found out that we have a really interesting and fine event coming up on the lawn of the library a week from tomorrow, on the 24th of April. They'll be having the Music Honor Society performance on the grass outside the library. I believe that's right. So I'm looking forward to that. It's at 4:30 that afternoon on a Wednesday. And last, I would like to ask a question about the 911. I think it's a fascinating thing. We have an enhanced capability now to our 911 system, as I understand it. And if I have this right, a hearing impaired person can text 911, and somebody who doesn't speak English can call 911 and be automatically translated. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And Mr. Matthews, that we've had capabilities for hearing impaired folks for a while.
Many years.
Yes,
Oh,
that's been a
goodness.
long-standing, many ways in which, especially when calling 911 for people that have different disabilities or impairments or language barriers, to reach us to make sure that they get the help that they need.
So you can simply text 911 and
That's correct. You
Yes,
just
yeah.
put it in as the recipient of the text, and it goes to the PSAP or Public Safety Answering Point within the jurisdiction that phone sits. It's a statewide program that offers those enhanced services to the 911 centers to communicate directly with that person who's sending the text. And we can also receive live video and photos now through that process.
thank you.
Anyone else have an announcement? Okay, we'll move ahead with Auburn University Communications.
Good afternoon, y'all.
Good afternoon.
We have the third annual Global Community Day Festival coming up this week over in Opelika. It's a day celebrating cultural exchange, and we're really looking forward to it. Auburn's going to have a heavy presence with student organizations like the ISO and Native American Student Alliance coming in, tabling, as well as the Auburn Career and Office of Outreach Services being there as well. College of Forestry will be there. They're going to have an Adopt a Tree initiative, which is exactly what it sounds like. Should be a really good time. Tons of other ways that students are going to be involved, performances as well. Really looking forward to the event. I know a lot of people from SGA are going to be participating. In other news, Weagle has hosted their spring concert on Cater Lawn. It was a really good time, had a lot of local acts. It was a good time over the weekend. And the SEC food fight is in full swing. Beat Bama Food Drive is hoping to raise over $10,000 to fight food insecurity across East Alabama. This is something that they've been very successful at. They won it the last 3 years. I know I mentioned this in the past, but feel free to go on their website and donate if you'd like to participate in that. The involvement awards were last week. The Auburn Campus Kitchen was deemed the most exceptional campus organization. They're committed to fighting hunger across Lee County. It's student-run. They plan the menus, the food, run the cooking shifts, and provide nutrition for children across the state. And I also wanted to give a shout-out to Evelyn Cherry, who is here with me tonight. She's the co-director with me this year, and she's from right here in Auburn. So I think that provides a great perspective for SGA going forward. So thank you, guys. War Eagle.
Thank you.
War Eagle.
We certainly enjoyed the meeting we had recently and look forward to working with the new team this coming year. All right. At this point in time is your opportunity to speak to the council about items that are on tonight's agenda. I would say that under resolutions, all of those conditional uses have public hearings attached. So if you'd like to speak to city council related to those, I would ask that you wait until that time. But anything else on our agenda that you would like to speak to the city council, we'd ask that you come forward and give us your name and address for the record. And these are only on items on tonight's agenda. Okay. All right, seeing no one, we'll move ahead with city manager's communications.
I don't have any city managers' communications. If you're ready for the consent agenda, does any council member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda and deal with that item individually?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I'd like to remove item 8 Delta 2.
8D2. Okay, anyone else? Okay, we'll move ahead with 8D2.
Item 8D2 accepts a public drainage and utility easement from Gordon Butch and Robin Ash Thompson for their property located at 1415 Barclay Circle.
Move for approval. Second.
Have a motion and a second. Mr. Moreland?
Yes, sir. I'd like to recuse myself from this vote, if I may.
All right, anyone else have a comment or question? All right, we have a motion second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries. Do I have a motion to approve the balance of the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the consent agenda has been approved. Ordinances.
Item 9A authorizes the renewal of a franchise agreement with Dixie Electric Cooperative. Unanimous consent is necessary.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent. Second.
I have a motion second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this evening? Seeing and hearing none, are there any comments or questions? Okay. Lindsay, the roll call?
Parsons,
Yes.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Adams,
Yes.
Koblenz,
Yes, ma'am.
Dawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Mormon,
Yes, ma'am.
Anders.
Yes.
Resolutions. Item 10A1 is a request for conditional use approval of a performance residential use and multi-unit development for property located at 814 North College Street. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at their April 11th meeting. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second. I have a motion and a second. At this time, I'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the city council regarding this property, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to speak to the city council.
I'm Lindbergh Bernard Jackson. I'm a part owner of this property, of the estate of Lindbergh Jackson.
Need your
What's
address
your
for the
address,
record?
Mr. Jackson?
814, I'm still at 814. Even though you might have passed there and seen some changing going on, I'm still there, plan to remain there. First of all, I want to say to the council.
814.
North College, this same address that we're talking tonight. My family's been there for right about 100 years. I want to say to the council, 1 year or so ago, I almost went blind. That's why I'm wearing these shades tonight. I was not aware that the council nor the planning commission had approved this same project because I believe that the developer, along with some help from the city, coerced my 88-year-old mother to bring it before the council when she only had a life estate. The council, the planning commission approved it. It flew through. It died. That's why you're looking back at it tonight. So we've seen this movie before, but I wasn't around to be a part of it. My mother has since passed away. I've got a brother that suffers from some mental challenges. This thing has been pushed through the planning commission without my approval because of the action that was taken in the courts. Presently, I am before the Alabama Supreme Court on a new law that some of you guys might have heard about the property of the Woodsons. Heirs have rights. Those rights were violated. My rights was violated. My mother's rights were violated. My brother's rights, because they was not made aware. So at the planning commission meeting, I filed a list of pendings, putting you guys and the planning commission on notice that there is legal proceedings going on right now in the Alabama Supreme Court. My faith and my belief is we will prevail because of the legal system failure. That's why I'm standing before you tonight to asking you to table this particular subject, because the city played a part in approving this once before with an erroneous deed. They approved it. I knew nothing about it. If I would have been blind, I'd been standing here 6'8", 235 pounds, and walking hell to the no. That's why I'm here tonight, to say to you all, I've lived here all of my life at that particular residence, and this may be the beginning of another meeting, but I want to promise you, by the power that's vested in me and my God, this is not going to end here tonight. And if you guys take a part in it, you will be a part of what been pushed down the people on 814 College, such as myself and my other heirs, throat. Now, check the list pendings, check the Alabama Supreme Court, but I beg of you, table this until you can do your homework, because my ancestors shared crop, picked cotton. I want to say what they told me, they even stole cotton and corn to pay for this property. We own property up the street, and we plan not to go away quietly. If the city wants to be a part of this particular action, approve it. But if not, do your homework. I promise you, we are within our rights. And I think that my father, serving on this council, if he was alive tonight, that's his primary residence, he'd be standing here in my stead. So I ask you guys tonight to avoid legal proceedings that may come about, even though some of you guys knew nothing about it. But if you check the record, do a facts check, you'll find that my mother was 88 years old, died on the 10th of last month. My brother has had mental problems ever since his twin brother passed away. He was not in his best mind when he and my mother came before the council. Thank you.
Who would be next?
Good evening, Brett Basquin with the Foresight Group, representing the applicant. The true facts in this is that my client has a deed. The deed, this has already been litigated. A deed's on this property, and we have a deed. We have an application before you. Regardless, I think the city attorney can speak to the status of the lis pendens and that kind of stuff. But my clients have purchased the property. They have a deed in hand. They have a clerk's deed. There was a sale, and we have a deed, and now we'd like to do the project. I can't speak for what happened 2 years ago, but I do know that we have a deed that is dated as of probably about 45 days ago. That's a clerk's deed on the property. So we are the legal owner or my client is the legal owner of the property. So be happy to answer any questions in regards to what we are proposing in regards to the project. But other than that, just let us know how we can answer any questions. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
Who was the seller in the transaction?
His mother.
Okay. And was money passed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, everything was paid. Yeah, I mean, there's a legal sale.
We'll be glad to answer council questions when we close the public hearing, should you have further questions. And we'll be happy to talk about what's germane and what's not germane to your decision this evening.
Who'll be next? Anyone? Okay, we'll close the public hearing.
And just to clarify, this would not have been on your agenda if it did not have the proper legal documentation. What's before you this evening is purely a decision about a conditional use at this location. Anything relative to a deed has to meet the city's legal standards, which it has met. If there's a private civil matter going on over a dispute of the property, it does not involve the city. We are not involved in this in any way, shape, or form, and cannot be part of your consideration this evening. Your consideration is purely on conditional use standards, what's before you, the request for 5 units on this lot. That's it. The city attorney is present and can answer questions, but I need to remind you the city's not part of this litigation, and we do not want to speculate as to anything that is going on. Otherwise, we have a valid deed, as Mr. Basquin explained. It has been reviewed by legal counsel as valid, and staff was instructed to proceed with processing the application the way that we always do.
Would the council want Mr. Clark to come up here and quantify anything that has been said?
I got a question.
Who was
Okay.
your question for, Connie? Just want to make sure.
Well, I don't know
Your
who
question
it's for.
Okay, why don't you
Not
just ask it
sure.
the city manager and we'll
Okay.
go from there.
I would, what year was this done? Because I'm his mom died, he said, just a month ago. So the property was sold, like, when?
Again, back to this, with the property being sold, this is not a question that we get to ask relative to a conditional use. So one of the things, the legal action before you, I want to be clear on, is the conditional use, not anything relative to a deed. We have been advised by legal counsel the deed is valid. So you're here to consider the conditional use only as requested by Mr. Basquin's client. That's it. Any consideration about the deed does not involve the city council. That's been already decided by a court. And so I don't have any of that information because it wasn't germane to the application.
And any further conflict or questions over the deed would happen in the courts, right?
Correct. And so staff doesn't have a history because we don't create deeds. That's something that happens outside of the city's purview.
All right. Again, is there anybody on the council have a desire for Mr. Clark to come forward and answer any questions related to this?
So we're not asking any questions about what Mr. Jackson said, we're just going about.
That's
actually
between
what's-
Mr. Jackson and the court and has nothing to do with the city council.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions from the council? Yes, Mr. Griswold.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Looking at the previous action on this, there was a conditional use approved by the Planning Commission in August of '21 and by the City Council in August of '21 for a performance residential development. How does this differ from what's been previously approved?
Mr. Wahid Cotton, please.
Thank you. Yeah, so one of the main differences is that this one's only 5 units. So with this just being buildings, and I guess there's only 5 buildings and only 5 units, this one is a departure from a denser development that was before you at the last approval, and then this one's only, like I said, 5 units at this site.
So this is a smaller development than previously
Yeah, I guess
approved?
Yeah, and so even though it's 5 buildings, it's only 5 units. I think that's one of the things that differs with this project from a lot of the multitude of other projects. Normally, multiple units exist inside of one building, but with this one building is the unit. And so the kind of throws things off kind of from there, but that's the main difference.
Okay, thank you. And I have an additional question.
Please.
We've got, like I said, there's 5 units, approximately 20 or so vehicles or more residents, all exiting onto North College through an existing curb cut, I think. What's the traffic impact of this additional traffic versus what's there now?
City Engineer Fraser.
It should be a minimal impact. There was a single-family home, or is a single-family home on the residence, but based on the small nature of this development, should not see any significant impacts.
Okay, is a traffic study required?
It is not required for something this small.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else have a question? Yes, sir, Mr. Mormon.
Thank you. This is zoned RDD, or redevelopment district. Can you tell me how long it's been RDD? Did it come about as a result of Comp Plan 2030?
It's
or
likely been
2020?
RDD probably since 1984, but it would take us a little bit of time to check, but
Well, just, that's close enough. So it's been a long time.
it's been a long time, to my knowledge. Somebody's going to click on the map. They'll be able to find out for you in just a second here. It's in GIS. If you bring up the city's GIS just for everyone's information and you have the zoning layer turned on, if you know how to do that and click on the parcel, it's a little info box that'll come up. It'll tell you what year the ordinance was passed or when it was put in there. So our planning director is getting to that in just a second here.
Yeah, so it's been, wait, hold on, I think it's the wrong project. Hold on, let me get to the staff report.
Likely, though, a very long time.
I can ask 14 more questions.
Well, the
while he's
planning
looking
director's
for-
looking for this. Does anyone else have another question? Mr. Mormon, do you have another question you'd like
Yes,
to
sir.
ask? And we'll give him, we won't all stare at him while he's trying to figure out that.
Channeling his inner Greg
Yeah,
right now.
right,
That's
it's all
right.
good.
I guess the unspoken question here that I'm going to throw out is that we don't want everything along North College to look just like this. And I'm sure it's going to be lovely. I'm sure it's going to be a great addition to our landscape as people drive in through that gateway. But it kind of caught us by surprise to think that the whole thing is zoned like this. When I say the whole thing, I mean from there north, I would guess, or just past the historic district. So it is not my intention, not my desire at least, that the whole North College area that's available look like this, but I suppose it could. So the second best alternative is please make it nice. Please make it something that we're all proud of. And we'll deal with the traffic as we need to. But this is all of our homes. This is our front porch, if you will, and this is what people see. So I will leave it at that.
Mr. Gunn?
Yeah, so the staff report doesn't have when the zoning on this would have changed. It only has like when it was originally annexed into the property, and so, or into the city. And so that was originally in 1960. So I can't find anything else just kind of around.
We will confirm later, but because there's not a date residing in here, that typically means 1984. As long as I've been on staff, it's been RDD.
Any other questions from the council? Comments? Okay. We have a motion and a second, correct? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
All right. One opposition?
Just one.
Yeah. Yep. Motion carries.
All right, hold on, flip back over here. All right, item 10A2 is a request for conditional use approval of an industrial use manufacturing facility to be located at 380 Industry Drive. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at their April 11th meeting. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. This time we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address City Council, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record. You'll have 5 minutes. Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? Any comments or questions? Yes, sir.
I know, I think I've asked this one in the past, but this is in an industrial zone, and we're doing a conditional use for industrial use. Why isn't it already approved?
Correct. This has been this way basically since this zoning ordinance was implemented in the 80s. And the reason for that is there are some industrial uses, battery acid plants, other things that may be doing things that the council would not desire or not think is appropriate based on adjoining property owners and so on. So part of this was if we were going to have a massive industrial effort, that the council would have some say-so and knowledge of what was going in to make sure that they felt it was compatible.
Okay, all right, that makes sense, thank you.
Any other questions? All right, we have a motion second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
Item 10A3 is a request for conditional use approval for the expansion of an existing institutional use, a private school or daycare for property located at 231 East Drake Avenue. The Planning Commission unanimously recommended approval at their April 11th meeting. A public hearing is required.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion second. This time we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council regarding this topic, please come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you'll have 5 minutes. Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing. Any comments or questions from the council? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries. Contracts.
Item 10B1 authorizes a contract with Beasley Construction Services Incorporated for the Lake Wilmore Park Athletic Fields project in the amount of $9,409,000.
Move for approval.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Comments or questions from the council?
Ms. Crouch, can you talk about how the contractor, the low bid here is somebody that fairly new to us and are, maybe not new to the business, but a new name that we've not seen?
City Engineer Frazier can talk a little bit about that in terms of, one thing with bidding too is it's interesting, the second lowest bid on this added $110,000 to the envelope in the bid opening, which flipped that. Beasley Construction has a very nice website. They have they've done a lot of work on public projects, and City Engineer Frazier can talk a little bit about, they have to provide lists of subcontractors and so on once awarded. Is that correct, Allison?
That's correct.
And so it qualified as far as as we are concerned, they are the lowest qualified bidder based on their vast experience and bonded the project.
Great, thank you.
They are out of Notasulga, by the way, so they're fairly close by.
Ms. Crouch, it's four athletic fields, synthetic turf. Can we give a rundown of what all is included in this particular
Yes,
bid?
our new Parks and Recreation Director, Allison Hall, would love nothing more than to give a description of the project.
All right.
Good evening. This project consists of 4 fields, a playground, a concession area, and a parking lot. The fields can be used as 8 flag football fields, 3 tackle football fields, 2 full lacrosse fields, as well as 2 smaller lacrosse fields. We can also paint the surface using power-based paint so that we can also change it up for other aspects as needed.
Did we get the 6 pickleball courts addition?
Yes, my apologies. This will also include the 6 pickleball courts.
For a total of 18, 12 with the first project in this. And then I think it's important everybody know we're going with a synthetic surface because
Yes, the synthetic surface will allow us to, of course, have all-weather use. It also has a great durability, lower maintenance for staff, pesticides, that sort of thing we won't have to worry about. It also increases our playtime for our athletes.
you guys have approved several projects with turf, and you see that at the soccer complex, and we're actually going to convert a 4th field out there to, it's a practice area now, to turf, and this is due to high volume of play, and with the level of growth in both youth and adult sports, we see this as necessary. Also, Mother Nature can be a little vicious with the amount of rain that we get at times, and these drain a little bit faster and don't get ruined when we play on them and they're not fully drained like a regular sod field.
Are we moving toward using turf in more of these instances for those reasons?
I would say that we will, but to say that we won't keep natural surface, the plan is to have a blend of both. But on new fields, we have been building because we still had a lot of natural surface fields. And then you saw out on Wrights Mill Road at Margie Piper Bailey, we redid that. Kevin did a great job of getting that totally redone and re-fenced, but we'll have a mix because some people are a little specific about the type of surface, but we see in high growth areas like ours, this is very common to maximize play and use of our facilities.
What's the timeline on construction of this?
City Engineer Frazier or?
And once we award and they get started, is the Lake Wilmore Community Center going to hold this from getting started, or can they get started simultaneously?
They can run concurrently. It
Okay.
usually takes us about a month to process contracts. So hopefully Beasley is ready to get started.
So, but you won't expect play on the fields until?
Oh, I want to say this is a year-long contract.
Okay.
But don't hold me to that, but that's what I'm thinking.
We'd always accept it much earlier, of course, but yeah, Lake Wilmore, the recreation center itself will open much sooner than the fields do. And you'll be able to construct fields and not be disruptive to the operations of the center.
Can you remind me how many of the pickleball courts are covered?
All 18 will be covered and lit and soon to be fenced. So, and architecturally attractive to match what else is out there. So we're making a big investment and we are making sure that it all matches. And don't forget, the pool will open also. Okay.
This is very exciting, and what a tremendous development for our community, our children. The mission of our Parks and Rec is to provide opportunities for those people in our community that want to participate in these activities. And having these 4 fields is going to allow more people to participate, and having artificial turf is going to allow more games to be played and activities to be had. And I'm thankful for the efforts to get us here to this point, and look forward to the smiling faces and the loud noises and the activity that's going to come from the ball games and all the things that will occur out here. It's a very exciting time. So, anyone else? All right. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 10B2 authorizes the purchase of light fixtures for the Lake Wilmore Park Athletic Facilities Project or Fields Project from Musco Sports Lighting Incorporated in the amount of $625,000.
Move for
Move for
approval.
approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from the council?
I'll just remind you that the installation of these will be handled by Beasley Construction, but the purchase of the light fixtures comes from Musco.
These are similar to the lights we've been purchasing the last few months or a year. That
Absolutely.
be kind of more controlled, so they can be turned on remotely and off remotely, so they're not something that's on per se
The
all
staff
the
has the
time,
ability,
so-
key staff members do from their phones to operate the lights, so that gives us flexibility. We also know what's going on if there are issues, and so Musco, that's why you see them basically across the board in our facilities, so it's easier to manage one platform.
Thank you.
Yes, but they will not be lit in 3 o'clock in the morning unless there's some odd reason, like Relay for Life or something like that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So Allison could sit over here and flip lights on and off from the,
She can, so, if you live right next to one of our facilities, remember that. I'm just kidding.
Morse code.
That was a joke, Miss City Manager.
Absolutely. But no, this actually makes it a lot more efficient. And also, if we have some unexpected play, we do have the ability to correct some lights. So,
Anyone else? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that motion carries.
item 10B3 authorizes an amendment to the fiscal year 23 streets resurfacing contract with D&J Enterprises to add $1.5 million for additional work.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from the council? Okay. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Item 10B4 authorizes a contract with Cadre Engineering LLC for the design of the North Donahue Drive widening project in the amount of $271,700.
Move for approval.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions from the council?
Ms. Crouch, if you'll just, for the public, walk through that this is just for the design piece of it. Can you give a kind of a quasi timeline in a perfect world, what this means for widening of North Donahue?
A timeline for construction itself. I'll have the city engineer Fraser. We are, in part, this is dependent on new high school and whether or not the school board proceeds with that. The design is going to be completed to enable us to do that project. And city engineer Fraser, do you have a fiscal year that you plan?
I do not have a construction estimate yet. We have done some preliminary design work and would like to hire Cadre to finish it for us.
But you don't know what fiscal year we plan to begin the construction.
I'm hoping by fiscal '26.
Okay, because I know it was previously in our CIP that it was looking at 25, 26, 26, 27. So we're not pushing that further out.
No, the plan is to, as soon as the design is finished, we will have some easements to acquire and some right-of-way. Once that is finished, that will move directly into construction.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So when you say North Donahue, what area are you talking about?
From Jordan Parkway, basically to the Sagahatchee Bridge. We say just below Miracle Road, but yeah, to the Sagahatchee Bridge.
Okay.
The bridge, if everybody remembers, that bridge, unlike the Moores Mill Bridge over the golf course, can handle 4 lanes of traffic over the bridge. It was designed for an eventual expansion. So, don't want to scare everybody that the bridge will be closed for widening. Not going to happen. It's ready now. So, but this will involve a number of turn lanes, double lefts onto Shook Jordan Parkway, turn lanes into the new high school area, what we know is the Owens property, and 2 travel lanes in each direction, north and southbound.
Any other questions? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
Those are all the items of business we have on the agenda this evening.
This time we'll open the citizens' open forum. If you'd like to address City Council about anything, we'd ask that you come forward and give us your name and address for the record, and you'll have 3 minutes to do that. We ask that your comments be addressed to the council. Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, Mayor
Good evening.
and City Council members, Ms. Allison. My name is Doris Talbot Hutchison. I live at 606 Spencer Avenue in Auburn. And I want to thank you for allowing me the privilege of serving on the Cemetery Advisory Board. I've been a member, I've been a citizen of Auburn all of my life. So it's just a privilege and an honor to be able to serve. And it's able to serve in any capacity. And I thank you for your vote of confidence.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We're honored and privileged that you want to serve.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Who would be next? Yes, ma'am. Sure.
I'm sorry, just take me a little bit longer.
It's okay.
It's all right.
My name is Gwendolyn Talbot Tinsley, and I live at 504 Bird Street. Now, I would like for you guys to consider speed bumps on Bird Street. It's beginning to be warmer. It's summertime. You got people. We don't have sidewalks. We're not honored to have sidewalks, okay? So people walking don't have to walk on the side of the street. Kids have to play on the side of the street, you know. Cars zoom on my street, okay? And I'm just afraid something bad is gonna happen to somebody. At least at the speed bump, they got to slow down. And this usually happens late in the afternoon, okay? This is when kids is out of school. This is when older people are trying to walk. And like I said, without a sidewalk, I'm afraid somebody might get hurt. Okay, but just consider it at least.
Ms. Dover, do you feel like your neighbors are in conjunction with your idea that there needs to be speed bumps?
I do.
Okay. Well, after the meeting's over with, I'd love to talk to you about how that process works, and I'm sure Ms. Taylor
Okay.
would be happy to have
That'd
that
be great.
conversation with you if you're not in a hurry to leave, okay?
No, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Who would be next?
City Engineer Fraser is going to talk with her, is that what you said?
Oh, no, I was saying we're working on the sidewalk design. I'm sorry.
There you go. Thank you. She's mouthing something. So there is a sidewalk design, and is that funded through block grant or regular city means?
It is, yes. We need a few easements, but the design is about.
So what section is that in?
It is from MLK up to Zellers. So it's the north north side of Bird Street, if you will,
So up to Zellers.
on the east side.
Okay, so there will be a sidewalk that will help.
That's a question I was gonna ask about the sidewalks
Yeah.
first. Oh, first of all.
So that's already under design and will
Okay.
be proceeding. So that goes all the way to Zellers. So, okay.
Left or right?
Thank you, Ms. Frazier.
On the right side.
On the right side.
I'm Steve Cosgrove, 1927 Watercress Drive, and again, I usually do, I want to express appreciation for all the really fine work that you all do. It's really proactive and it's really always got the best interests of the village of Auburn in mind and in your spirit and so forth. I wanted to welcome you back, Allison. Last time I saw you, my hair was a lot darker, and you were about 13 or 14 years old working at Dean Road Rec Center. But good to have you back. Yeah, that's neat. It was late February, or I've never told this story to anybody. It was late February or early March, and I've got 2 minutes and 20 seconds to tell you this. I was driving down, it was late February or early March in 1975, so it was as in 49 years ago. I was driving down Glen Avenue, kind of coming down that hill a little bit, and I saw this little lady walking, little African American lady, and walking. She was carrying some groceries from that, I believe it was the A&P grocery store. Was it the A&P? And it was a nasty cold day, and I pulled over and said, "Ma'am, I'm Steve. Could I help you?" She said, "Yeah." I said, and so I said, "Well, let me give you a ride." She said, "Yeah, I'd like that." So I took her to her home. I can see her home, where her home site from your front steps here. It was where the Veterans Memorial site is right now. But it was a little home there. So I took her there, and we got to know her. I said, and she got my name and phone number and so forth. And I said, "You give me a call if you ever need help with anything." And I would call her on, by the way, I did this for 5.5 years. This was a really neat thing. Got to know her. I would call her on Saturday mornings to let her know I was coming. And if she needed anything, just to let me know. On her little kitchen table were some pine straw baskets. I'm going to show everybody out here too, this sort of stuff. I mean, it just amazed me, the craftsmanship. I got 30 seconds to share this with you. By the way, the only hands that have ever touched this her name is Mary Thorpe. To this day, I have not found one person who remembers Mary Thorpe. when we moved off to Alaska in the summer of '81 and came back in '88, she had passed away. She had passed away right around 100 years old. She was 90 years old. She was over 90 years old when I picked her up and met her. But if anybody could research that for me, Tommy, you may know her, and Connie Pitts Taylor, you may know her, but I'm not finding very many people that know her. But anyway, I wanted to show this to you, and I know I'm out of time, but it's just kind of a neat story of a really neat person. She was a really, really neat person.
Thank you, Mr. Cosgrove. Who will be next? Anyone? Okay. We'll close the citizens' open forum. Does anyone on the council have anything else? If not, is there a move to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we are adjourned.